What habits did you do to get you to where you are today? What habits fell off and what habits still remain for you?
Dude, it's a great question. Here's where my mind goes with that. Like I teach this stuff, right, with like all the time about habit tracking, because I habit track every single day. So like I wake up, first thing I do, I have like 12 habits that I'm tracking, things like, did I go on a date with my wife? Did I, spend time with the kids one-on-one? Did I make an offer? Did I analyze a deal? Like I got these habits, right? I did not do that on the way up though, as I was building it. There is this vibe where like influencers, if you want to call us that, where we teach this stuff because we know it's a good idea, but that we didn't actually do it on the way up. Now, I wish I would have. I would have probably been more successful. So yes, there were things that I did back then for sure. Like I did analyze deals. I did make offers. I went on dates with my wife, but I wasn't as meticulous about tracking it. And so, but I would argue like, I won't say that to say that it doesn't work, like the habit tracking is fake. It works, just something to be aware of, that influencers are usually teaching things that work today. Especially things like, oh yeah, meditation or psychedelics. And again, I'm not saying anything's wrong with those, but that's what they're doing today because they've got a lot of money and a lot of free time. It's like, oh yeah, you just got to ice bath every day and wake up, early and do this. And like, that's not what you did to get there. What you did to get there was you just worked really, really hard for a long time. So like the number of 3 a.m. painting sessions my wife would do on these crappy little rental properties to get it rented by 9 a.m. the next morning. Just tons of those all the time. That's just what you do. Anyway, to wrap up that point, I still did that stuff, but I was not as effective as it back then. And so maybe I'd go a month without a date with my wife because I wasn't tracking it on a weekly basis. Now I'm meticulous about tracking those things every day.
Did your life get better when you started tracking them? Did you achieve more success, or did you just have more clarity on the day and your intentionality around what you were doing?
Yeah, when I look at, and maybe this is a little bit anecdotal, but when I look at my growth of my portfolio and my net worth, and it looks like, fairly hockey stickish. It took me 10 years to get to 30 rental units. It took me another couple years to get to 100, and it took me 5 more to get to 14,000. So it was a hockey stick. That said, what was the question?
When did you start tracking stuff? Did you see a lot
more? Yeah. So that's where I was going. Thank you. So the hockey stick, when it looks like this, right? It was I started tracking habits and being meticulous about goal setting right about here. And to be honest, and this is not just to blow smoke, but that's when I joined Gobundance, was largely because I saw what a lot of Gobundance guys were doing, which was setting goals, reverse engineering them, and then habit tracking their stuff. And so for sure, now would I gotten there without doing the meticulous goal setting habit tracking? Maybe, but I wouldn't be where I am today for sure. So it definitely helped. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't be successful without it, but almost every successful person I know has a vision for where they want to get to. Actually, I'll give you 6 steps real quick. I talk about this. I call it REIOS, but that's just a
Wait.
thing.
Say it slower.
REIOS, Real Estate Investors Operating System. I'll explain what that is. It's kind of like EOS. Anybody EOS people here? So I love EOS. I'm a huge fan of it. So I thought I'd create one for real estate investors. So there's 6 components of REIOS. And again, almost every successful real estate investor or entrepreneur that I know follows pretty much the same 6 things. And that is, number 1, we say tell the truth. It's you have to be honest with where you're at. And that's not just in your finances. It's all areas of your life. Are you a good dad? Are you a good wife? Are you a good, how does your body actually look? Let's be honest, because you can't build off what you don't, know is true. I think there's a quote, I think Dan Sullivan says it, is all progress begins by telling the truth. So step 1 is you got to tell the truth. Where are you at really right now? What does your finances actually look like? So once we tell the truth, and again, being self-aware of that, then I call it defining your future self, where you define, where does I want to get to? And there's different ways to do that. You can use a vivid vision, like Cameron Herold style, which I've used. I love that concept. You could, there's a lot of different methods here but basically, where do you want to get to? 2, 3, 5, 10 years, I don't care. But where are you headed? Every massively successful person I know has some sort of vision for where they're headed. And then third, I call it goal alignment, or align your goals. So that would be, 3-year goal, 1-year goal, quarterly goal, weekly goal. Almost everybody successful I know does some level of that. The 4th component, I call it the ultimate life hack, and it applies to what I just said a minute ago, is a hack, H-A-C-K, is an acronym for your habits. So the things you do regularly, your actions, the things you got to get done this week, your constraints, I'm not going to sleep in, I'm not going to use my phone, I'm not going to, smoke a cigarette, whatever, constraints. And then KPIs is how do we put numbers to those? So in other words, habit tracking. So that's the fourth component. Fifth component is there's always some level of accountability. And that differs a little bit based on how naturally self-driven and self-disciplined you are. I'm not naturally self-disciplined. Like I will just scroll TikTok for 8 hours if I'm allowed to. And so I have to find ways to like hack my lack of self-discipline. And that's usually through accountability. So it started actually, Gobundance had a pod for years. We met, I still talk to those guys sometimes, like it was solid. I've hired coaches. I've had numerous different accountability coaches. I've had more pods. I have an accountability coach right now. That's been really, really effective. Just like a 20-minute call once a week, like, hey, show me your KPIs. Like literally show me your habit tracker and let's figure out where you're off. And like and we have a whole system around that we built at the Better Life Tribe, which is my charity, sort of charity mastermind. And so it's like, you know, if you're off by if you miss one of your habits 3 weeks in a row, we have like a name for that. I think it's called your third strike, and then you have to put a punishment to it. So like I will cold plunge for 10 minutes, or I will go run a mile in my underwear, or whatever the thing is. Like that's real accountability. So, and then the last step, the sixth component, is what we call just like relentless improvement. So always improving, always seeking more education, getting into rooms where you're the dumbest guy. So those 6 things, that's telling the truth. So I can get them again. Telling the truth is number 1, defining your future self, aligning your goals, getting your habits tracked, your actions tracked, or basically your KPIs, the accountability aspect, and then continually improve. Those 6 things I saw time after time on the Bigger Pockets podcast. All the successful guys would do those 6 things. When I got into Gobundance, all the successful guys were doing those things. So that's what I do. I don't remember the original question, but
it's funny to me how few of people are willing to be honest with where they truly are. And like if you look at Alcoholics Anonymous, right? One of the most powerful ways to heal addiction, step 1 is admitting you have a problem, right? Why are people so resistant to admitting where they are at today?
I think nobody wants to be the villain in their own story, right? Like we all have this belief, we want to be the hero in our own life. And so we think of ourselves as the main character and the hero. And in reality, many times we're the villain, we're the ones causing our own problems, but it hurts to do that. Like our ego can't handle that. And so if we just don't think about it, if we just shut it down and pretend it's not happening, then I don't have to feel that negative feeling of knowing that I'm not enough or knowing that I'm not doing my highest potential. And so I'm just going to lie to myself. It's just way easier. And I probably do that. You know, I think we all probably do that in different areas of our life because I don't want to admit that I'm just not. I'm not operating the way that I could. I think you guys have maybe seen the clip. John Mayer has a great, the musician has a great clip out there on social media. I've seen it a lot, where he's talking about a conversation he had with himself around drinking alcohol. Not to make y'all feel bad about drinking. I'm going to go drink in a minute. But he goes, John, what level, like, do you want to, like, what percentage of your potential do you want to tap into? Like, if it's 60%, great. Let's just admit that you want to be 60% of your life and you only want to tap 60%. Is that what you want? And he's like, no, I want 100%. And he said, well, does drinking give you 100% of your potential? When you wake up hungover half the mornings, are you living on 100%? He said, no. He said, that's the day he stopped drinking. And so he was honest with himself to say, I am not living to my potential and I'm not okay with that. And then you can make a change. Again, all progress begins by telling the truth.
When have you had to be honest with yourself that looking back, you're like, yeah, that was painful, but it changed my life?
Oh, man. You've done this question thing. Wow. Let's see. There was a time, I'll get a little personal here. Like we had our second baby 5 years ago. His name's Wilder. He's great, but he was the worst sleeper. He's like a miracle child because he didn't sleep for 2 years. Amazing. Like no child's done that in history, but he did not sleep for 2 years. So then of course, I did not sleep for 2 years. My wife did not. And so yeah, during that period, my wife and I drifted pretty darn far to a point where we're both like stubborn enough that maybe we wouldn't have ever separated per se, but there was a point where I remember thinking like, when I sat down and truly was honest with myself, like, I think this is the breaking point. Like we'll never heal beyond this point if I don't pull it back in now. And it was that telling of that truth that actually helped our marriage. Like I literally remember the moment we were in bed, we had a huge fight, and again, sleep deprived, terrible time to fight. And it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. And I turned over one way to go to sleep and she was turned the other way. And I remember, just thinking like, this is the moment. Like this is the pivot moment in my life right here, right now. And I remember I was so angry at her about whatever we were fighting about. I don't remember. I was so angry. I was like, I don't want to fix this. I literally do not want to fix this problem. I have no desire to fix it. I just want to be done with this. And and I'm a spiritual guy, you know, I'm a faith-based guy. And so I remember thinking I should probably pray to fix this, like that God can fix this. And I was like, no, I don't want to fix this. I don't even have the desire to pray to fix this. So instead I prayed that God would give me the desire to pray to fix this. Does that make sense? So like I was like, I don't want to fix this, but I'm at least asking you, can you help me with that? And just that act, whether or not it was God or just the act of me doing that, caused me to turn over and put my hand on her shoulder. And then we started talking, and 4 hours later, that was the dip, that was the bottom point. We came out of that, and we have a stronger relationship now than ever. But yeah, that was a time I had to be very honest with myself. And then, I mean, just to add a more tangible like real estate side, yeah, over the past like year, real estate's obviously super hard right now, and we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, tomorrow. Real estate's tough. It's hard to be a syndicator. It's hard to be a commercial real estate investor. It's hard to buy apartment complexes in Austin, Texas, when cap rates go from 3 to 6. It's really hard right now. And what I've realized over the past year is I was not a good enough CEO. Like, I'm just not good enough as a leader, like of my teams and of my people. And I'm like, I need to be better. I need to level up my skill set. And if I'm not willing to do that, then I shouldn't be in this game. I shouldn't be doing this. So yeah, having to do that over the last year now, like just really diving back in. There's my 6 o'clock alarm. It says turn off my phone. Literally, one of my habits, turn off my phone at 6 o'clock. So yeah, anyway, so I had to learn how to be a better leader, and I'm not all the way there yet. But yeah, being honest about that.